Peace, my family. Next question. Is Jesus, son of Mary, referred to by any other name in any other language? And what is the origin of his name? Question. And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi Sears, answer. Jesus is called God and man, or simply the Son of God, and again as the Son of Man. And the Egyptian referred to him as Horus. And if you look at the very word Jesus as used today, from the Roman you get Isos, which is the same as the name Esau, the twin brother to Jacob, Genesis 25:26. So the Islamic name is merely a derivative of the Greek word. They avoided the use of the Hebrew equivalent to Jesus, which is Joshua, because it translates as Joshua in English, meaning the Savior. So later, when the Greeks took this name Tammuz, the Sumerian name for him, they called him Zeus. The Romans called him Jupiter, having the same powers as Zeus. Add the letter J to the name Zeus, and you will get Jesus. The letter J is the short form of the Hebrew letter Yod, which is used to say Yahweh or Jehovah. This is also found in Psalms 105:4, where the word the Lord in Hebrew is Yah. Now add the J to the Greek Zeus, and we get Jesus, which is simply Jesus. Two identities in one. Zeus is the physical part, and Jah is the spiritual part. This is the way the Roman and the Greeks taught it, and this is how you see it today. We have the name for God as Adonai, which comes from the ancient Babylon identity, who was the identity called Tammuz. It goes on to read, who is this Tammuz? Alright, so it goes on to read. It was another name for Jesus, whose galactical name is Sananda, and whose ancient name is Tammuz. The name can be found in the ancient tablets entitled Tammuz and Ishtar. Tammuz is the name of an ancient Sumerian deity whose name is mentioned in the Akkadian tablets also. Tammuz's name can be found in the Old Testament in Ezekiel 8:14. Next question. Who was the father of Tammuz? Question. And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi Sears, answer. Tammuzim. All of these names can be found in the ancient tablets of Sumer. Refer to the glory of Jesus, the Messiah scroll, and that is on the channel if you are interested. Next question. That's the end of his answer. What about the miracle birth? Question. And this is our master teacher, Dr. Malachi Sears' answer, and it reads, it's called the Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate is a word that simply means a clean birth. And so far as Gabriel is referred to in Daniel 9:21 as the man Gabriel, and in this very quote, the Aramaic Hebrew word for Ish, which means male living being, was used to describe Gabriel. In this quote, Daniel says that he first saw Gabriel in a vision, and then he later saw him while in prayer. This is another confirmation that Gabriel can and does manifest in human form. Refer to Daniel 9:21. And who was Jesus, Yahshua's father? Scroll. Alright, so that right there was the end of his answer. And so, y'all want to go on? Is it getting good, family? Is it getting good? Okay, let's go on. Was the Immaculate Conception of Mary that the Christians preach true? Alright, and this is our Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi York's answer. This was This was a fantastic story, okay? This was a fantastic story that the Christian preachers have concocted in hopes of brainwashing you into thinking that God, as they call him, put a child into Mary's womb. This is a hoax. No woman in history, nor in this day and time, has ever conceived a child without the aid of a man. It has never been the will of the Almighty, the will of the Almighty, for women to reproduce by herself. If you know this to be untrue, then you have to show me in the scriptures where women have conceived children without a man and only by the will of the Almighty. To believe in the Immaculate Conception is to believe that a new God merely placed a seed in Mary's body by saying kun fayakun. Exists, and it existed. If this was the case, wouldn't it have been easier to just create a full-grown man, a Bashar? It would have sped up the events concerning Jesus' life, and it would have been easier for both Joseph and Mary. Why didn't God do this question? He did it with Adam according to the Quran. In addition, wouldn't that have been the most simple, most idle formula for all the great teachers of Eli to be born? This would eliminate having to groom women to give birth to people such as these great teachers. Couldn't he have just made the trees, the birds, the flowers already full grown without starting as a seed and going through the development stages? We definitely wouldn't have to wait to eat. A new guy could have made it this way, but he didn't, just as much as he could have made all living things asexual. But he didn't. Jesus, on the other hand, was created from gushing water sperm, and he did have a mother and father. For the Creator to have produced a child in the womb of Mary without a sperm would have mean that Mary's entire composition was changed so that she could also have a Y chromosome in order to produce a male child by herself without the aid of a man. Women don't possess this Y chromosome. It is the male chromosome. Let me explain. Each individual sperm of a male carries either a X or a Y chromosome, and the female egg just carries an X chromosome. In order for a male to be conceived, a sperm carrying the Y chromosome